Hey guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I want to welcome you back to the channel. Well guys, today we're going to be doing just a basic disassembly and cleaning on this Heritage Rough Rider revolver. This is one of those guns that a lot of people tend to have, and they're not too complicated when it comes to the cleaning process. It's pretty straightforward, but we're going to show you what to do anyway, just in case you might be a new owner. These are very low price firearms, and a lot of people tend to just have one around or maybe even buy them as a first gun. They make a great gun to learn how to shoot on. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and talk about what you can use to clean this pistol if you go ahead and buy one, or if you just need to do a basic disassembly and cleaning. First of all, I tend to use bore snakes when I clean out the bores and the chambers and the cylinders and so on. And so this is just a 22 caliber bore snake. Now you can use a traditional cleaning rod and a brass brush and a cotton swab if you want to, but this tends to make things go just a little bit faster in my opinion, but that's just me. Some cotton swabs or Q-tips just to do some fine detail work. Some cotton patches or some cut up t-shirts, preferably cotton or a cotton blend works good. Nice soft bristle brush that we can use to do a little bit of scrubbing if we need to. The lubricant for today is just going to be some break-free CLP. I tend to use this on a lot of different guns. Now you can use maybe some Rem oil on the outside if you want something a little bit less greasy, but we will wipe off all the excess when we're done with it. And then finally, a little bit of Black Rifle Coffee Company Freedom Roast, because it makes these disassembly jobs so much easier. So let's go ahead and clean this up just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing that you want to do is just make sure that the firearm is in fact unloaded. You just don't want any kind of accidental discharge. So on this pistol, your safety's, on this revolver, my bad, the safety's on the left hand side. You want to make sure that the button is in fact pushed up towards the rear of the cylinder. Then what you want to do is just go ahead and open up the loading gate on the right hand side for your rounds. Give yourself a little half cock on the hammer, and then you can simply rotate the cylinder and check each chamber just to make sure that they're empty. And we are good to go. Go ahead and close it. You can pull back on the hammer, keep your thumb on the top of the hammer, lightly push the trigger and let go, and you're all set. Now, to go ahead and take the cylinder out, it's a little bit different from some of the other revolvers where you push a button and it pops out. What you're going to do is press the button towards the front of the cylinder right here and pull out the rod or the shaft that keeps the cylinder in place. This part can be a little tough. Sometimes these can be a little bit tight, or they can definitely need a little bit of lubrication, so they can be a little bit hard to get out. To remove the cylinder, it's pretty straightforward. Just open the loading gate and you can just push the cylinder right out. In fact, you might not even have to do it. It's just a little habit that I have. So we'll go ahead and put the pistol off to the side, and we'll focus on cleaning up the cylinder next. All right, so hang tight. Alright, so this revolver had about 150 rounds put through it, so it is awfully dirty. So the first thing we want to do is just put a little bit of CLP in each of the cylinders, or each of the chambers of the cylinder. Just kind of let that go down there and kind of soak in a little bit. Do that on the other side also. Now again, I tend to use more lubricant than is necessary for cleaning pistols or revolvers and firearms. Really not a big deal. Go ahead and let that just marinate for a minute or two. Go ahead and take your shaft that keeps the cylinder in place and just put a little bit of CLP on that. Again, you want to make sure that you either wear gloves or wash your hands well when you get done doing this, because of all the carbon and lead deposits. Okay, we'll just go ahead and wipe that off. No problems there. This pistol really was a lot of fun to shoot. I'm sorry, this revolver. I keep saying that. I don't shoot revolvers a whole lot. In fact, this one's on loan to me from a friend, so I seem to refer to every handgun as a pistol. I need to quit doing that. But anyway, okay, so now that's nice and clean. Now I'm just going to show you the first couple steps on this process. Just go ahead and take your bore snake, or if you happen to have a cleaning rod, that's certainly fine too. Zoom out just a little bit here. Just go ahead and take your bore snake, and you can go ahead and drop it through the rear of the cylinder, just through here like this, right through the center. This is basically the same diameter and size as one of the rounds that you would fire through it, some of your ammunition. Just go ahead and give it a nice pull. This will clean out any deposits or any crud that might have been around the area of that shaft that keeps the cylinder into place. Now you can do this once or twice if you want to. It does get it nice and clean. And now notice that we didn't put any lubricant or oil on the bore snake the first time. I'm going to run this through the first time, each of the times, without any kind of lubricant on the bore snake, and then just put a little bit of oil on it and then run it through each cylinder again. So running it through just dry, because it's already going to pick up stuff as it goes through and cleans it the first time. Just go ahead and pick one of the chambers here and run it through. Okay, I'm going to do this 2 times on each of the chambers, and I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off when I come back. This one's going to be done. I'm going to repeat the same process on the Magnum cylinder all the way through, and then we will, when you're all done with that, you just want to go ahead and give it just a general wipe down, and we'll talk about what to do about the front of the cylinder, and hang tight. Alright guys, so now once you get that all done, all you have to do is just wipe off the back of the cylinder with just a lightly coated CLP patch or cloth, whatever you want to do. Go ahead and wipe off the front a little bit. Now, this is one of those times where I'd like viewers to kind of chime in a little bit. What works best for you guys to clean the front of the cylinder? I know some guys, if they have a stainless steel firearm or some sort of an alloy, they like to use like a mag wheel polish cleaner on it for cars. I know that that does work really well. But as for just the bluing, I don't want to mess this up. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit of CLP on a brush. There we go. And we're going to just scrub the front. Go. Now you might want to run the cleaning rod through your chambers each time, one more time, just in case anything happened to get in there. But if we keep it towards the front, usually stuff just falls towards the front and it's not an issue. Again, we just scrubbed off the front a little bit and just go ahead and continue wiping. Okay, and that comes out looking really good. Now again, we're going to go over everything with a dry patch just to absorb any of the excess oil that's on there. Get that all taken care of. Okay, that one's done. Now the next one, again, a little more CLP on the brush. And just go ahead and scrub. This really doesn't push anything into the chambers. You don't have to worry about it. You're just kind of breaking up some of those carbon deposits on the front. Now, like I said, it did run 150 rounds of ammunition through this pistol today. I'm sorry, this revolver today at the range, and was no problems whatsoever. Ran great. Very low recoil. A lot of fun to shoot. Yeah, those chambers are nice and clean. We're good there. And go ahead and take yourself a dry patch at this point and just go ahead and wipe off the excess oil. You can always go over this with a little bit of rem oil if you want to, or just a light coat or some CLP, but mainly just to get the fingerprints off, and it's treated and it's nice and good. So, okay, go ahead and wipe off the next one. There we go. That all taken care of. Okay, we got that all done. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the revolver itself, to the gun itself. All right, so when we're doing the inside of the cleaning of the chamber itself and the inside of the pistol, just go ahead and take your CLP can, spray a little bit of oil down the barrel, and what we're going to do is just kind of let that marinate for a little bit and soak up a little bit, because it's going to get a little dirty and it's going to push out a lot of crud, especially if you shoot this gun a lot. 22 LR ammo can be kind of dirty sometimes when you get done shooting the firearm with it. Go ahead and take yourself just a little CLP, I guess you could say soaked patch, and just start wiping out everything inside. And you might be surprised at how much stuff actually comes off on it. Or not, I don't know. The pistol wasn't too bad when I borrowed it from my buddy. It looked like it had been cleaned recently. It was in pretty good condition. Just go ahead and scrub a little bit and you're going to start to see your carbon fouling come off of there, your spent powder, all that fun stuff. And go ahead and get the inside of here, just wipe it all off. You can open up that loading gate if you want to, that little loading gate door on this side over here. And just go ahead and wipe everything off, wipe everything down. And again, it's okay if you've got some light lubrication on there. You know, if this gun's going to sit for a while before you take it out again, it's not a bad thing. Revolvers tend to be fairly low maintenance for the most part, which is what I really like about them. I don't think I need to get the brush out. Sometimes if you have a lot of buildup up here, you can see it gets kind of cruddy. You can go ahead and just scrub that with a brush too if you want to. As for the Q-tip itself, you can also use that to get in some of the finer points, which we'll do real quick here. We'll put a little bit of CLP on the Q-tip. Okay, there we go. Now just go ahead and the hole right here where that rod is going to go that keeps the cylinder in place, just go ahead and push a Q-tip down there to get that kind of cleaned out a little bit. And again, you might be surprised at how much stuff can build up in there when you do that. And we'll talk about the shell extractor here in just a second, what you can do about that too. And go ahead and just wipe off the inside of the rear where your hammer is. I guess you could say your firing pin for that matter. Sometimes I don't always have all the terms memorized when it comes to revolvers. And like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with them, but you know, if you can clean one gun, you can clean most any gun, right? Okay. All right, so we did a pretty good job there. Yeah, I got a little bit of a buildup above that barrel too. That's another problem area that you want to watch out for. Just make sure you get that nice and clean. Got all taken care of. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, okay, now for the extractor itself, an easy thing that you can do is just go ahead and press on it. Take a CLP soaked patch and just go ahead and wipe off any of the excess that might be on there, any of the buildup that might be on there. Okay, just kind of wipe off the spring itself down in between this little sheath, I guess you could say, that keeps it protected. All right. You could maybe spray a little bit of rem oil down there if you want to. I tend to use rem oil if I don't have a lot of cleaning I got to do, if I just want to do some shining or just a little bit of general lubrication, and that tends to do a pretty good job. There we go. Okay, got that all taken care of. All right, no problems there. All right, now what we want to do is go ahead and clean out the barrel. It's been soaking for a few minutes, and again, I'm going to run this bore snake dry down the barrel. Although it has a little bit of lubricant on it from cleaning out the cylinder, just go ahead and drop it down there. Again, you can use a cleaning shaft, but you're gonna have to go through the front if you want to, like a cleaning rod or cleaning handle and so on, with your brass brush and then your swab, and that's fine. Otherwise, you can just run this through a couple times and you're in good shape. Now again, there's a lot of purists that don't like bore snakes, you know, whatever works for you. You know, if you want to use the traditional cleaning rod and the patches and the brass brushes and all that stuff, you go right ahead, whatever works best for you. Doesn't really matter. The main thing is that you clean the gun. That's all that I really care about. So let's go ahead and check that. Looks nice and clean. I'll actually hit that up with my bore light a little bit later on, but it does look good. So you can run that through 2 or 3 times if you want to. Oh yeah, another one. Go ahead and pull back on the hammer and just go ahead and take a little bit of CLP on a patch and just wipe off this general area back here. You can sometimes get some buildup here too. There we go. Again, great little pistol. I had a real fun time shooting it at the range. It was a lot of fun. Very easy to shoot. Pretty accurate too, considering I had not only fired one of these one time and it was not too many rounds. So go ahead and take your Q-tip. It's got a little bit of CLP on it. Just come up from the front here and clean out this area where the hammer has a tendency to rest. Gonna wipe out that area a little bit. You know, you don't want to do any kind of disassembly of the action unless you are a certified gunsmith. I can't recommend it. Kind of clean off the area around the safety. There we go. Go ahead and put the hammer down. So. All right, let's go ahead and clean some of this stuff up, and we'll come back and just do a general reassembly, and we should be all set to go. All right, guys, so reassembly is essentially the opposite of disassembly. Just go ahead and open up your loading gate. Go ahead and drop in your cylinder, either your 22 LR or your 22 mag that you want to go with your 22 long rifle. Go ahead and close the gate on the right side. Now this part's a little bit tricky. Go ahead and line up that shaft that goes in the cylinder. Go ahead and press the button that'll allow the shaft to go back in. It'll lock into place. Go ahead and just run through a couple times, make sure everything goes properly. Do a little half cock. Not a big fan of dry firing, so you might not want to go that route, but just test it. Make sure that the timing C's on. Make sure you've got no play in the cylinder itself. All right, once you get that all done, just go ahead and take a couple drops of some CLP and just give the gun a general wipe down. Now, the first time I buy a gun and bring it home, I'll tend to wipe the whole gun down. It's going to be a little bit oily. I let it sit overnight, let that kind of soak in. And then after that, any other time I do that, just some real light maintenance, wiping and cleaning, nothing too crazy. That just kind of lets it soak in a little bit and makes a nice coating, makes it simpler to clean off the next time that I go out to the range. I've just kind of noticed that with all my firearms. Just go and wipe off any metal surface. Make sure you get the trigger wiped off, the trigger guard. And otherwise, guys, I think we're good to go. Should be all set. So awesome little pistol. I'm definitely going to pick up one of these. And so Stan up at SS Pawn, thank you for loaning me this pistol. And I've done several range tests on this already, taken it out and tried 3 different grades of ammunition in it. Tabletop review will be soon to follow. Really had a fun time with it. You can get these for 140 bucks, 150 bucks. Usually $189 if you pay full price with both cylinders, but just a very cool little pistol. So that's it, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for watching this cleaning video. Again, it's nothing too crazy, nothing too difficult to do. If you know, just I make these videos to help out maybe the first time revolver buyer or somebody who's got one of these pistols and they don't know what to do initially to take it apart and clean it. Sometimes the manuals tell you what to do. Sometimes they don't, but that's it. So, guys, if you like what you see, please like or subscribe. You can check me out over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm also over on gunchannels.com. I've got a podcast called The Caliber Corner. A lot more content definitely coming your way, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, guys, I think that's about it. Oh, last thing, you can also support the channel over on Patreon with www.patreon.com/TravisP11. The money that comes from Patreon, a lot of it goes out to support other channels, and some of it does go towards ammo and firearms for the channel too, because this isn't exactly easy, but this is a hobby of mine that I choose to do and I really do enjoy it. Otherwise, guys, that's about it. I'm just going to finish up my cup of coffee here, and I think that's all. So, guys, I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe, and as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, y'all take care. Have a good week. Okay, bye-bye.